I'm here with Dr. Stephen Hughes. He's a veterinary reproduction specialist and he practices from Howick in KZN. He was a speaker here at the Stockman School at Aldam, and he spoke about bull fertility, specifically subfertile bulls. And this is where my first question to you is, what is a subfertile bull?
So a subfertile bull is a bull that has a reduced reproductive ability. So he gets cows pregnant, but he just lacks the ability to do that in an efficient manner. And that is highly significant because we need bulls that are very efficient.
Let's just talk about the efficiency. What does it mean? In other words, in as short a time as possible, what does efficiency mean?
Yes. So efficiency refers to, dates are very important when it comes to cow breeding cattle. And so in most circumstances, we need a limited breeding period, and we need to get a high number of cows pregnant in a short period of time, or in the beginning of the breeding period, at least a high percentage, because that means that these animals will have, they'll be calving down early in the calving season, and that their calves will then be at a desirable weight at weaning. And which is also very important, those cows then have the greater opportunity to get pregnant in the following year because they became pregnant early in the breeding season. So efficiency really is that the bull has to get the cows pregnant quickly and during a limited breeding season.
So there you've just dispelled now the whole argument, but it's not so important as long as the cows get pregnant. You've now dispelled that whole argument.
Yes. No, we don't have, it's not a good philosophy. It's not a good concept. This idea of that it doesn't matter. We can give those bulls more time. There is no time. Often, for a cow to calve once a year, every year, she may only have one or two opportunities to fall pregnant. And we can't have a bull that's taking too many opportunities to get those cows pregnant. He has to have a high reproductive potential, and he must get those cows pregnant almost every time that he serves her. So, yeah, there is no luxury of missing an opportunity.
All right. So now we have to identify the subfertile bull. What is the story?
So. Yeah, I think it's a good question, and I think we've come a long way over the years. And the way of really doing this is it takes a combined effort. It needs the breeders and the farmers to understand that management of bulls is really important. So the management of these animals is critical, and there's certain things involved in the management that we can do to ensure that bulls remain highly fertile. The second thing is selecting of bulls. That's another very important aspect, and that comes into the phenotype, the genotype, genomics, and that can be involved. But selection of the right bull is important. And then the third thing would be a thorough breeding soundness evaluation done by an experienced veterinarian who knows how to screen a bull and how to test bulls, so that we have the ability to identify these subfertile bulls.
Let's talk about that whole certification.
Yes.
Because one of the questions you got after your talk was from somebody who bought a bull, who went through all the processes, bought a bull, and the bull proved to be unsatisfactory. So just talk to me about certification and the limits of it and the advantages of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, bulls, their breeding potential or their reproductive soundness can change over time. So when a veterinarian evaluates a bull and that bull passes a certain set of tests and the results are reliable and a certificate is issued, that might then be okay for that bull, and it might only be okay for a for one day, or it may be okay for a month, but it doesn't guarantee fertility for a prolonged period of time, because a bull's fertility can actually fluctuate for a variety of reasons. Stress, disease, injury, all those types of things can change a bull's breeding soundness. And so even though a risk assessment or a breeding soundness has been done on a bull and that bull passes, there is still a likelihood that that bull may fail sometime in the future. And so as I say, it's not a guarantee, it's more of a risk assessment of the bull, and you're trying to classify a bull as having a high risk or a low risk. And we're trying to eliminate those bulls from our breeding system that have a high risk of having a negative impact on a particular farmer's breeding program. So that's the ultimate goal, and I think that's very important, that it's not a guarantee of fertility, it's more of a risk assessment, and things do change over time, and that's why it's important that that farmers focus on management and focus on having a routine herd vet that comes through and checks the bulls and can get a good feel of how bulls are performing and how they should be performing on a particular farm.
And as that same herd vet that will do the breeding soundness certification as well.
Yeah. Yes. Usually it is.
So it's not difficult to get it done. You just organize with your vet.
Yes, exactly. That's all it requires, and to have confidence in that vet that he is going to do a thorough job, and that there's going to be meaningful results at the end of it. And most veterinarians have been trained sufficiently to achieve that particular goal, and are quite well aware of what needs to be done. So it really does just simply mean that the farmer needs to make contact with his herd vet and arrange that type of appointment.